Hey Raiders fans, we're back with an exclusive video and the latest updates on our beloved Las Vegas Raiders. Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. That way, you'll always stay up to date with breaking news and exclusive content. Geno Smith, the quarterback whose name has been bouncing around NFL discussions for years, recently sparked a wildfire of rumors that is now engulfing the Las Vegas Raiders. According to sources close to the situation, Smith feels deeply underappreciated by the organization, a sentiment that he reportedly hasn't held back from expressing behind closed doors. This is the kind of storyline that immediately grabs headlines because it's rare to see a starting quarterback so candid about dissatisfaction in a team environment that usually demands discretion. The whispers began quietly, a few teammates hinting at locker room tension, and from there, the story escalated rapidly. Fans on social media platforms began speculating wildly, connecting dots between Smith's on-field performances and perceived lack of support from Raiders management. Analysts in various podcasts dissected every throw, every sideline gesture, as evidence of this underlying frustration. The narrative that's forming suggests that Smith is not just unhappy with plays or coaching strategies. It's about recognition, validation, and feeling like his contributions are minimized, a storyline that strikes a chord with anyone who's ever felt overlooked in a professional setting. This context is crucial because it frames the potential departure not as a rash decision, but as the culmination of simmering tension. The Raiders, on the other hand, are reportedly caught in a tricky position, attempting to balance loyalty to a quarterback who has contributed significantly with the undeniable need to maintain team cohesion and morale. Decision-makers within the organization are said to be weighing multiple scenarios, from retaining Smith and addressing his concerns with tangible gestures to exploring trades that could bring in fresh talent while minimizing disruption to the roster. The situation is delicate, and sources suggest that there are meetings scheduled behind the scenes where executives, coaching staff, and player representatives attempt to negotiate an outcome that satisfies both sides or at least mitigates public fallout. Meanwhile, fans are left to speculate, amplifying every tweet and report as if it were definitive proof of a brewing storm. The media frenzy surrounding Smith's statements, combined with the Raiders' opaque handling of the matter, has only intensified the narrative that this is more than a simple contract dispute. It's a cultural clash, a conflict of perception between a player who seeks respect and a franchise that might prioritize image and long-term strategy over immediate personal validation. The rumor mill thrives in this environment, spinning every snippet of information into a potential headline, every gesture on the field into a symbol of unrest, and every quote from insiders into fuel for the speculation firestorm that now surrounds Las Vegas. Some sources suggest that Geno Smith's frustration stems from repeated instances where his efforts on the field were overshadowed or dismissed, moments where he felt that his leadership was undervalued compared to other figures in the organization. These incidents, though subtle in isolation, compound over time, creating an atmosphere where a player can feel both scrutinized and ignored simultaneously. The quarterback's perspective is said to include a mix of professional pride, personal expectation, and a desire for equitable recognition, reflecting a complex emotional landscape that isn't always visible to fans or commentators. This perception of underappreciation is particularly potent in a league where reputations are often built as much on narrative as on statistical performance. Geno's situation, therefore, resonates widely because it mirrors a universal tension: the struggle to reconcile effort with acknowledgement, dedication with validation. For the Raiders, this is more than a management challenge. It's a public relations puzzle, because any misstep could amplify fan discontent or spark divisions within the locker room. The implications are multifaceted, spanning trade discussions, future draft strategy, coaching adjustments, and, crucially, how the team communicates its vision to both players and supporters. Every day, the story evolves as insiders drip information strategically, fans speculate enthusiastically, and analysts dissect each development with a mixture of skepticism and anticipation, keeping the rumor alive and pulsing through sports media channels. While Geno Smith's talent on the field is undeniable, the conversation surrounding him has shifted from performance metrics to personal satisfaction and organizational alignment. This transition is critical because it reframes discussions about Smith not just as a quarterback evaluation, but as a human story of ambition, pride, and perceived respect, or lack thereof, within a high-stakes professional environment. According to multiple whispers in the league, this feeling of undervaluation has led Smith to quietly explore alternatives, gauging interest from other teams that might offer both a starting role and an environment where he feels genuinely respected. The rumors suggest that he's approached agents and intermediaries, testing the waters without fully committing to leaving, signaling a strategic approach rather than an impulsive reaction. If true, this adds layers to the speculation, because it implies that the quarterback is not merely reacting emotionally, but actively managing his career trajectory with calculated foresight. For the Raiders, this possibility presents a dilemma. Accommodate the player to maintain continuity or risk losing him while potentially strengthening their roster in other ways. The interplay between personal satisfaction and organizational strategy becomes a chess game, with every move scrutinized, every statement parsed, and every insider leak potentially influencing public perception and internal negotiations. Fans, analysts, and media alike are now spectators to a drama that could reshape team dynamics, market positioning, and Geno Smith's professional legacy. The timing of this revelation, whether intentional or coincidental, is also fueling speculation. Coming after a series of critical games where Smith displayed both resilience and frustration visibly, the narrative of dissatisfaction gains credibility among observers, particularly those attuned to subtle body language cues, post-game comments, and social media interactions. Each interaction, whether with teammates, coaches, or the media, is dissected as evidence of brewing unrest, amplifying the rumor and creating a feedback loop where speculation feeds observation, and observation feeds further speculation. The potential departure of a quarterback like Geno Smith, even as a rumor, carries implications beyond Las Vegas, affecting rival teams, potential trade packages, and the perception of the Raiders' organizational stability. In an era where narratives often shape market behavior as much as actual results, this story is particularly potent, capturing the imagination of fans who relish both analysis and gossip. The question hanging in the air, whether Smith will stay or leave, is compounded by the lack of official statements, leaving room for interpretation, misinterpretation, and endless debate. Every insider report, every tweet, every hint of strategy is consumed voraciously, adding layers to a story that is already complex, emotionally charged, and highly consequential, ensuring that Geno Smith's saga remains one of the most talked-about topics in professional football circles. As this drama unfolds, the personal dimension of Geno Smith's experience becomes as compelling as the professional stakes. It's not merely a negotiation of contracts, trade clauses, or playing time. It's a story about identity, respect, and the emotional toll of feeling overlooked while performing at high level. In many ways, the narrative resonates because it is deeply human, a talented individual seeking recognition in a system that sometimes values optics over substance. Observers note that how the Raiders handle this situation could set precedents for player relations in the league, influencing how other athletes perceive their value and interact with management. The rumor, fueled by insider hints, fan speculation, and media amplification, has grown into a multifaceted discussion encompassing leadership, loyalty, and organizational culture. Geno Smith's potential exit, whether it materializes or remains speculative, is emblematic of the tension between personal ambition and collective strategy, a narrative that invites endless analysis and debate. Every comment, gesture, and report now carries disproportionate weight, transforming ordinary interactions into critical signals in a drama that continues to evolve daily, ensuring that the buzz surrounding Smith and the Raiders remains inescapable, tantalizing, and endlessly dissected. The potential ripple effects of Geno Smith's dissatisfaction with the Raiders are already becoming a point of intense speculation, as insiders hint that teams across the league are quietly evaluating their quarterback situations in case an opportunity arises. Scouts, GMs, and analysts are reportedly monitoring Smith's social interactions, practice habits, and public comments, attempting to gauge not only his on-field performance, but also his willingness to adapt to a new environment. The rumor mill suggests that Smith's agent is subtly signaling to potential suitors that a move could happen if circumstances align, creating a delicate dance where every hint is scrutinized but nothing is confirmed. This kind of behind-the-scenes maneuvering, while common in professional sports, gains outsized attention when it involves a starting quarterback, especially one as talented and unpredictable as Smith. Fans speculate on potential destinations, comparing offensive schemes, coaching philosophies, and team culture, debating where Smith would fit best while the Raiders navigate their own internal deliberations. In essence, the rumor has created a dual narrative, one within the organization, where loyalty, strategy, and negotiation intertwine, and one outside, where speculation, social media amplification, and fan sentiment collide to form a perfect storm of uncertainty surrounding Smith's future. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Las Vegas Raiders. And don't be shy, drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Within the Raiders organization, sources suggest that tensions are subtly escalating, though public appearances remain carefully managed. Coaches are reportedly adjusting communication strategies, attempting to reaffirm Smith's role while also keeping other quarterbacks in shape as potential contingencies. The narrative circulating is one of cautious diplomacy, where management seeks to avoid a high-profile fallout but simultaneously prepares for multiple scenarios. Rumors indicate that internal meetings have focused not just on Smith's performance metrics, but also on broader questions of team morale, locker room dynamics, and long-term strategy. Executives are said to be weighing the pros and cons of accommodating Smith's demands versus facilitating a trade, balancing the immediate impact on game performance with potential reputational consequences. Every decision is now analyzed through the lens of public perception, as the media narrative evolves in real time, fueled by anonymous sources, speculative commentary, and fan reactions. The subtle interplay between private negotiations and public rumor amplifies the drama, making it nearly impossible to separate verified information from conjecture. As a result, the story surrounding Smith's dissatisfaction functions on multiple levels: a personal saga, a professional dilemma, and a media spectacle that continues to dominate NFL discourse with no clear resolution in sight. Reports also suggest that GENO Smith's feeling of being undervalued may be tied to specific instances of perceived neglect in contract negotiations, media coverage, and on-field decision-making. While performance statistics might indicate solid contributions, sources hint that Smith feels overlooked in terms of recognition for leadership, strategic input, and resilience under pressure. This perceived gap between contribution and acknowledgement reportedly fuels his desire to explore alternatives, signaling to the league that his loyalty has limits. The rumor, amplified across podcasts, sports shows, and social media, paints a picture of a player at a crossroads, committed to excellence yet unwilling to compromise on personal validation. For the Raiders, managing this tension is delicate, as mishandling could trigger fan backlash, internal dissent, or even a sudden trade demand that disrupts roster stability. Analysts are speculating on the timing of potential moves, noting that every game, media interaction, and statement from either side can be interpreted as a signal of impending change. The intrigue lies not only in what Smith might do, but also in how the Raiders respond, whether with strategic compromise, bold decisiveness, or calculated patience. This multifaceted rumor has created a narrative rich in suspense, with fans and commentators alike eagerly piecing together fragments to predict the outcome. Meanwhile, whispers suggest that rival teams are already formulating hypothetical scenarios, imagining how a potential acquisition of GENO Smith could reshape their offensive strategies and locker room culture. From evaluating playbooks to assessing team chemistry, insiders report that some franchises are taking a proactive approach, anticipating that if Smith becomes available, the ripple effects could redefine the quarterback market. This speculation has created a flurry of hypothetical trades, draft pick analyses, and contract scenarios, each feeding into a broader narrative that the Raiders' handling of Smith could have consequences far beyond Las Vegas. Fans are divided, some sympathizing with the quarterback's need for recognition, while others emphasize loyalty and team continuity, creating heated debates online. The rumor thus functions on multiple planes: a personal story of perceived neglect, a strategic challenge for management, and a catalyst for league-wide speculation. Analysts note that in the NFL, quarterback movement can trigger domino effects, influencing multiple rosters and altering competitive balance, which adds layers of intrigue to the saga. Every whisper, leak, and subtle hint is dissected, magnifying the tension and uncertainty surrounding Smith's immediate future, ensuring that the conversation continues to dominate sports discourse. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Las Vegas Raiders, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.